Hello, good morning guys. This is Tutamak once more. If you didn't watch my previous video, please watch, like and share, and don't forget to subscribe on my YouTube channel and also to follow me on TikTok for more videos. Okay, so in the previous video I was talking about time conjunctions. So under time conjunctions we looked at the use of no sooner. I said no sooner goes with than. So no sooner had the lion rod than he took to his heels. Okay, so I also talked about the use of hardly. Hardly goes with when. No sooner than, hardly when. So we say hardly had the hardly had the lion rod when he took to his heels. So they are different in terms of use there, but they are all continuators. They are conjunctions. Okay, so you don't have to confuse them. Okay, all right. Okay, so today I want us to look at adverbs of frequency. Adverbs of frequency. Okay, let's look at the use of rarely. Rarely. In some instances, you are asked to start with adverbs of frequency like rarely. Okay, they can say transform a sentence, start with scarcely, start with barely. Okay, yes, so remember I was using this in the previous video where I was explaining the the use of time conjunctions. Like in most cases you are asked to start with scarcely as to use it as a time conjunction. So this time let me show you a different way. Okay, so adverbs of frequency. Adverbs of frequency. Okay, so the use of rarely. Okay, so by definition, the word rarely means almost not. Almost not. So definition, rarely means almost not. Okay, so remember it is an adverb of frequency. So what do I mean? Remember adverbs of frequency, an adverb is just a word that adds more information to a verb. And we know that a verb is just a word that expresses the doing of an action. Okay, so words that adds more information to a verb are called adverbs. So we have types of adverbs. We have adverbs of frequency, adverbs of manner, adverbs of time, adverbs of place, etc. etc. So in this case, we're focusing on adverbs of frequency where we're using rarely. Okay, so rarely simply means almost not. Okay, let me show you, let me give you an example on how examiners start when they ask you to transform a sentence. Okay, so they'll say, I hardly see you lately. Begin ready. So have you seen this one? Have you seen? So remember, have you identified hardly? Where I've used hardly. You remember in the previous video when I was looking at time conjunctions, I was using hardly as a time conjunction. So I was saying hardly had the lion rod than. I mean hardly had the lion rod when he took to his heels. So in this case, look at the way I've used it. Okay. So I hardly see you lately. So what do I mean? Almost not. Okay? Almost not. Meaning I have not been seeing you frequently. Okay. So now we've been asked to start with rarely. So rarely also means almost not. So hardly and rarely, they mean the same. Don't forget. So if they start with an adverb of frequency, so remember to use auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary verbs, remember they are just helping verbs. We have do, that's a plural. Does, that's a singular. Okay, we can also use is, in most cases choose a singular. Are, a plural. We can also use so in most cases we can also use auxiliary verbs like can. Okay, so in this case, let's say rarely, which one are we going to use now? Which auxiliary verb? See, I hardly see you. So rarely we can use do. Rarely do I see you lately. So have you seen what has happened here? Because we are starting with the adverb of frequency. So the auxiliary verb has come before the subject, which is the pronoun here. So they have swapped. So for those of you guys who've been following me, under conditional sentences, yes, type number 1, I taught you something when the examiner starts with not until, what happens to the auxiliary verb and the subject. Okay? Yes, so we're saying not until you quit drinking beer will I marry you. So will and I were swapping them. So even here, that's what's happening because we're starting with this adverb of frequency. So say rarely do I see you lately. Okay? Meaning I don't see you frequently. I hope you guys are following. Okay. So I'll give you another example, then I'll give you food for thought as usual. Okay. So example number 2. So I'll say Paul had this video. I'll just be using hardly and rarely. In the next video, I'll use some other ways. Yes. So Paul hardly eats at home. So again, rarely. So as you can see, again they've started with rarely, which is an adverb of frequency. So Paul hardly eats at home. This means Paul does not eat frequently at home. Okay. Yes. So how can we transform this one? So we simply say we can use an auxiliary verb. Do in this case, which is a singular, or we can use does. So you can say rarely does. What is the subject? I said after the auxiliary verb is the subject, which is in this case Paul. So rarely does Paul eat at home. That is one answer. I'll give you another one. Rarely does Paul. Remember, this is a proper noun, so we're supposed to start with a capital letter. Okay, it's the name of a specific person. Name of a specific. So rarely does Paul eat at what? At home. Okay, that is the answer number 1. Or is it rarely okay, that is food for thought. Okay, so you guys, you have to finish up. There are 2 answers here. There are 2 answers. Okay, I wanted to write it, but you are going to finish it. So that is food for thought. So please write the answer below the comment section. Yes, for those of you guys who are under my class, you can just drop it. It has become your assignment. Just drop it on my WhatsApp number. And for those of you guys who haven't registered yet for online classes, please register. My number is on the screen. Yes, to Tamak 0779 33 93 73. That's my WhatsApp number, the one I'm using for online classes. So register. Right, the fee is just affordable. We'll discuss once you text or call on my WhatsApp to discuss, and also for the timetable. Okay, thank you so much, guys. I wish you all the best and study wisely. For the Form 2 and the Grade 12s, feel free to text or call. I know you guys are very busy. I'm available 24/7. We even in the evening, late in the evening, we are free to do online classes after you come back from school. So don't hesitate to text or call. The future is bright. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day.